say it in the way you wanted to
Okay,
say
it should have
it.
been and the what and okay, okay, let's
You know the saying, right? Like it's not the destination, it's the journey. And as
yeah.
cliche as that sounds, it's true. When you achieve something, you shouldn't just focus on yourself. Like it shouldn't be all about you. You have to think of the people who
That's true.
were behind, like who had you and all of that. So that's what I really learned in the process of applying for the leadership
And
award.
if you think you deserve something,
Go for it.
go for it. Especially if your intentions are pure and your intentions are not narcissistic anyway. You shouldn't shy away from an opportunity like this.
Look for mentors, talk to people, don't be afraid, especially when you're given events. Approach people, push yourself, don't be shy.
Enderun Unmuted.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a new
Welcome,
episode of
guys.
Enderun Unmuted.
All right, so thank you again for everyone for tuning in. So I hope you're having a happy Friday right now, because we are, even though things didn't go our way this week, there's always a second time, right? And that was coming
Yeah.
from a personal experience that I just
A personal experience that we all shared.
yeah, a
Yes, a
reason.
personal shared experience, if you will.
Okay, so since last month we had a wonderful topic about Women's Month, we had some wonderful empowering guests such as Miss Aina, the three presidents we had, and also Sam last week. So that was very, very fun. But this month we're gonna change it a little bit. We're gonna have a new thing, no, a new theme. Okay, so it is, what is it, Kyla?
Well, a new theme, not a new thing. We have alumni. We're gonna talk about and to alumni of SHS, Enderun SHS, not Enderun in specific, not like college alumni, but Enderun SHS alumni,
Okay,
because we are.
Thank you.
thank you.
But,
Because we-
Yes, or like
But
Kyla
anyway.
said.
I'm sorry.
We're all dying right now. It's a Friday, and yeah.
Sorry.
So, like Kyla said, we're gonna have guests such as the best students we have, the great ones we had in the previous
The
years
great.
of senior high school. So it's gonna be fun this month. We're gonna have mostly like I said, the great ones, and the
Let's
ones
just call
we
them the
personally
greats.
know. Yeah. So, all right. So last year we actually had an on-trip week with them. With the grade 12 we had when we were grade 11. We had
Mhm.
some food, around the hall when there was no pandemic yet. Do you remember the food that we had
Yeah.
back then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
In
think
the
I
hall, they would
remember-
burst in
Yeah.
with their food,
Yeah. During
announcing their prices.
Yeah.
And
That was
telling
fun, that
us
was
to
fun.
buy.
So
Yeah.
with that,
I spent so much money that week.
yeah.
Getting
That's-
so
Or
much
did you
food.
just wait for your friend to buy?
Also
didn't
that.
get
Oh,
from
okay,
there.
I
Also
did
that.
those.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
all right. So because of that, also this year we're gonna have our own on-trip week as seniors, and we have a number of businesses we want to share with you guys.
Yeah, so unlike the previous batch, unfortunately we'll be doing it all online, which is kind of a bummer, but it's also kind of been fun trying to set up an online business,
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
sell. Of course, it's going to be harder since we can't like physically connect with other people, like potential customers. But it's still a good experience because landscape, business changing,
Yes.
digital. But
Making money.
it's making money.
Kyle
But
just
speaking
pretends
of that,
to
we
not
actually
like that part.
let's just do it for the sake of the podcast. But speaking of that, we wanted to mention some businesses. Some we couldn't get all, unfortunately, but we wanted to mention some businesses that have been made by this batch for our Enter Week to just promote them. So one of them is Hansel and Gretel, which is mine, with my group. It's selling customized candy baskets with themes. Then we also have Garden Flowers, which is actually a very mysterious clothing brand, if I am not mistaken. I know it's a
that's
clothing
cool.
brand. So they haven't released anything yet, but exciting. Then we have Le Flan, which sells leche flan. Very,
One of my
very good.
favorites.
And we actually have, you can just skip them then. No, I'm kidding. We actually have cheesecakes,
Elise's
Which
cheesecakes.
is Irvin and Jacob's
Yes.
business.
Please order this Sunday.
And guess what we sell?
Okay.
No, they sell cheese.
The best
And
ones.
last but not least, Trend DIY, which is on crochet beads, not food. So, well, garden flowers was. But you know, if you're into that crochet stuff, go and check all these businesses out and support us on our end of week if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah, we will be linking all of these accounts
In
on
the
the
caption.
description.
Yes.
Yeah, and more if we find more.
All right. So speaking
No, we
of
haven't mentioned.
entrepreneurship, you know, it's also in line with our guest today because she is one of the
Very true.
entrepreneurship students we have in Enderun too. So let us start, introducing her. We do the honest kind.
Well, yes, as Irvin has mentioned, she is currently studying BS Entrepreneurship in Enderun College. What are some of her achievements, Jacob?
Some of her achievements include the very prestigious Enderun Leadership Award. And also,
That's
another very
cool.
prestigious award is being part of the team that won the championship for the Hulk Prize on
I
campus
was
at
there. I
Enderun.
was there.
That's true. And also, she was able to become a finalist at the Hulk Prize Regionals at Melbourne.
At Melbourne, guys. So that is very cool.
Melbourne.
And just to add, some of the achievements that I experienced with her actually last year, she was, from what I know, she's the vice president of the organization called ARI. What does it mean again? Paro. Yes, ARI. Yes, that
Yes.
one. And then she was also
Making our
the
president proud.
yes. And she was also the president of the senior high school executive committee last year. So that is very cool. So without further ado, guys, let's all welcome our guest today, Lara. Hi, Lara.
Lara.
We're so happy
Thanks
to
for
have
being
you.
here.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be invited to your podcast.
Yes,
I'm
no. We're actually, more honored to have you here and so glad.
Sure.
So, you want to say anything first to our viewers and listeners we have right now?
Well, thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts, I guess, and have this fun, hangout with you guys.
Yeah, it's
So-
gonna be a fun night with Lara. So as always, we start off with a game that we make, and this time we did it a bit different. So
Yes, we did. Jacob and Irvin were actually, and they wouldn't stop mentioning it before we recorded. They were like, "Make sure it was made by us." But anyway, instead of "and a what," we are going to be having a new little segment that we are going to be testing. Not testing. I mean,
we're gonna
it's a
have
game
for
that
the whole
works.
month. Yes.
We're
Yeah,
workshopping it right
that
now.
we're going to be trying on our lovely guest Lara. So this little
Trying.
segment is called
You say it, Kyle, please. You say it this time,
I don't-
please. I taught you this.
I can't say. It's called I can't say. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's the 1, 2, 3. You can say it in the way you wanted to
Okay,
say
it should
it.
have been and the what and the two and okay. Okay, let's
See, I don't want to say that. I think the viewers will understand that I didn't
The
want to.
viewers will leave. What you
Oh,
said
I'm
is
sorry,
like-
you can leave in 3 seconds.
I'm just
Okay.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Guys, don't leave. Never mind what Jacob said. But anyway, this segment, instead of them having to guess the answers to trivia questions based on their interests, it's still going to be about their interests, but they're going to be naming 3 things. We're going to be giving them a statement, like name 3 of this, and they're going to have to name those 3 things in under 5 seconds. And when they do, they will get a point. And so the score they will get will be determining what grade they will get. So sorry, Lara, this graded, but don't worry, you're gonna do great, and you're
It's
gonna
be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
let's see if you can get on the Titans Hall of Fame that we've been having. Yeah, let's
Alright,
begin.
let us begin, guys. Alright, go
So
with
the
the
first, the first question is because we know that you like K-pop, more specifically the K-pop group 17. I think a lot of people can relate to
I
that.
don't know K-pop, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, neither of my co-hosts know K-pop. I'm the
Well,
only one who
appreciate
does.
Yes.
And so,
Very cool.
I was the one who made most of these questions. But anyway, let's let's start off with a very easy one. So the first one, I think Urban
We
will
have
be our
5
timer.
seconds.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, Urban
my
will be a
hands up.
timer. So the first question is to name 3 members of 17. Go.
5.
S Coops, Uzi, Vernon.
She didn't even need like the 5 seconds.
So I think we should 2 seconds now. Joking.
No, we'll give her 5.
Alright,
But
so
that was
I didn't.
that was
That was
quick.
fast.
That was okay.
Oh,
Okay.
they're my practice, so.
Yes. Okay, I relate to that. So I think everybody who stands the K-pop group would have gotten that immediately.
Wait, so are they 17 in the group? No, right?
Do you want me to explain that?
I know the
I
answer.
mean-
to this
I've,
one.
tr- I've been
You have
trying
5
to explain
seconds.
this to them.
Yes,
I mean,
Tyler, tell me the answer.
I don't really stand them, but I know like basically why
Yeah,
they're
why?
named
though?
17, but they're not 17.
Were they 17
like
when they
that.
started the K-pop?
Yeah.
We're 17 years old.
Ah.
What?
No.
Oh wait, what?
We're 17 when they started the group.
Oh.
And then they became 13 because the others left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So why are they
Look at
not
us
13
learning.
now? Okay, anyways, that wasn't part of
No,
the
they are
thing.
13 now. Okay, anyway.
Moving on. Now, I didn't make this question, but I did Google the answers too. So here it is. Name 3 songs of 17's first E EP.
Sorry.
Diamond, Shining Diamond,
3, 2,
Adore You.
1.
20.
I think she reached that. I think she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did.
The internet lagged, but
see?
she did
Yeah, I
reach it
think.
within 5 seconds.
A true fan.
A true carrot over here. They're called carrot. Am I
really
right?
thought you
That's
said
their
carrot.
No carrot.
A
As in,
carrot?
that's your fandom name, right? Lara.
Diamond Carrot.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, like 10,000 carats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When I first said it, they were like,
That's
"What?"
Okay,
Rabbits,
you learn new
carrots.
things every day.
I
Okay,
know.
so you got that one 2 out of 2 so far, Lara. So for your third one, you have 5 seconds to name 3 Korean dishes. 3.
Bibimbap, kimchi,
two.
tofu.
She made it.
Okay.
She's just soaring through these questions, guys.
So I don't know why we ask Korean stuff because obviously she's gonna get
Because
it,
she
but
likes them.
He's an
Irvin,
expert already.
Stop judging.
I'm judging the one who wrote this.
Okay.
Okay, so 3 out of 3
Okay.
so far. Kimchi is my mom's favorite too. So
Because it's so good. It goes with everything.
yeah, but it's spicy. I don't like spicy.
Yeah.
You don't like
Also not
No,
a
it
big
hates
fan.
me.
I like it, but I have low tolerance basically.
Yeah.
I'm sure
That's
some of
so
you guys have experienced me sweat a lot eating something that's only
wow.
mildly spicy. It
Well.
tastes
Yeah.
good, but anyway.
No, same.
Moving
You
on.
know, when I ate the Korean noodles, the spicy noodles. After that,
Oh.
So
Weird dog.
before that,
Yeah.
I actually had a low tolerance when it comes to spicy stuff. But after I ate that, it
Yeah, I think
became
it increases
so
over time.
No, yeah, but my
Oh, it got
tolerance
lower for
became
you?
lower, bro. Yeah, I was traumatized because I don't know. Okay, it's not
That
about
is
me.
really spicy. Lara, have you tried the purdak?
Yeah, that's my favorite food.
Oh,
He's built different.
Guys.
guys.
I don't even know these
What?
food.
even I can't take that. I like spice when it's sensible, like when it's not
Okay,
overpowering.
When it's not just spicy for being
When
spicy.
it just adds to the flavor.
Yeah.
I don't think I
Indian
can
food.
take overly spicy food like purdak, but I tried it once. I was in pain. Like I think
I have a recipe for you. So if you don't want it to be
We're
that,
learning.
because you know how samyang really tastes good, right? But it's the spices, like, you know, it tastes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do is before you put the sauce, put a stick of butter, mix it, put the sauce, and then put mozzarella cheese. It will just
Now that's
Cheese.
cool.
Cheese makes everything better.
Yeah, if there's
Okay.
cheese, bro, I'm in that.
So
Yeah,
I think
so-
Kyla's gonna send this over to us. Maybe this
Wow. Okay. They keep making me send food over to them. Hinting that they want food. But anyway, thank
She
you
is
for
the
that.
chef.
Yeah, we learned
That is why.
a new
Thank you
dish.
for that. And to anyone who wants to try
Learning
that,
more about the Korean culture.
who has a low tolerance for spice but still wants to try samyang, then go ahead and try this.
Listen to Lara.
That's
All right,
great.
so for your fourth one, Lara. Jacob, can you do this?
Okay.
I
For the
can't
fourth
breathe.
question, what are the real actor or actresses' names of the main 3 characters in the Netflix show Stardom?
Irvin, count down.
5.
5, 4, 3,
Miss
2.
Namjoon.
What?
Was that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was correct. Good job.
Wow. I haven't watched any K-drama yet, so sorry
I know.
everyone.
I've been meaning to.
You
I know
have?
there's yeah, that's why I'm always asking you guys. Do you have recommendation?
Oh.
You know, I watch a lot of shows.
I'll recommend.
Definitely, I watch a lot of.
Lara, guys.
I heard Startup was I haven't actually watched Startup because I'm not big on the K-drama, but I have watched, like, my mom's obsessed with it. So she's like, have you watched Startup? Have you watched Startup? Like, she always asks me, like, every day. She
Yeah,
says,
there's so many K-dramas that seem so interesting because their storylines just seem so unique. The concept.
That
of
is
the
true.
show.
And also their
I have a lot of
cinematography
relatives
too.
who watch.
Okay, so for the 5th question, for the last
Classic
question,
man.
you got 4 out of 5. If you get this, you're gonna get an A+. So, in 5 seconds, Irvin, our timer, we want you to name 3 main characters in Hwarang.
Okay.
Go.
I watched it so long ago. I forgot all of their names, but I know their faces.
Describe
Sorry.
their faces in 5 seconds.
Make their
Describe their
faces.
faces.
You can draw it if you want to. So I think
But-
that's it. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Lara. We
Yeah,
can't give
4
you
out
that
of
one.
5. Not
That
bad
is-
at all.
that
for-
is
it's your
good.
first time playing this game.
I think that should be an A-, not a B.
Okay, an A-, because
An A-.
usually it's a B, because it's not really a formal grading system. But since we got a 4 out of 5,
We made it
that's
up.
good. We made it
we're
up for
gonna give you
Lara.
an A-, which is still good.
Still an A. 4 out of
I'll
5.
take it.
Good job. Good job. So you really know your interests. That's good. No.
Which
And-
is only Korean. Dragon King.
Yeah, it's
it
all
is.
about Korean stuff, which is
I respect
great.
that.
I mean, come on, guys. I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Miss Mac,
Sure.
hello.
Forwarding this episode to
All
you.
right, so let's talk more about Lara's experience right now. Not as a maybe senior high school first, but her recent experience right now in the freshman, because everything started as online. So how has that been for you? Like, what were the I'm not achievements, like the things you're part of right now?
Alright, well, currently, I'm still part of the Halt Prize, so we're joining the Halt
Which
Prize.
she won, guys.
We didn't win yet.
Yeah. But
Keyword.
she was named as a champion. So okay, Lara, proceed. I'm sorry, I'm so talkative.
No worries. Alright, and I was also very humbled to have been part. Well, I've just recently joined the leadership program. So you
Wow,
guys,
that's cool.
and yeah, classes. So far that's what's going on in my college life.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really hard right now, but at least you made the most out of it so far. Jacob mentioned a while ago that you were the champion of the Hall Prize, which I was actually there and I experienced it live. When they said, "Team, what's your team again?" Yeah, you can talk about that. Yeah, so how was the experience like? During those
Yeah.
times.
So from on campus, we actually changed. So we were used to be called or known as Hail Bites, but
Right.
from on campus, we have changed our idea. Well, not really changed, but we pivoted and we've become Musa Inc. So Musa Inc. is a social enterprise that helps solve banana waste. So if you guys don't know, the Philippines is actually one of the biggest Cavendish bananas exporters. So
I
bananas
didn't know that.
in Korea, yeah.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, bananas in Korea and Japan and China are all from, well, not everything, but we export to them. So
That's cool.
since we export, bananas really are like the standards are just so high, and we have to make them really perfect. Like if the bananas are off color, if they have like one small bruise, if they're off like the curvature, stuff like that, they just get rejected. And those rejected bananas just get wasted. said you. So we thought that's weird
That is weird.
because
Yeah, it's a waste.
yeah, right? I mean, they're so nutritious, making it into flour, which is something everybody uses. So we turned the wasted bananas into banana flour, which actually acts as like all-purpose flour, so you can use it in brownies, cookies,
So fascinating.
or anything.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah. So
So actually,
fascinating.
Kyla, Lara actually, told us about this a while ago. Just some sort of it, but right now I actually understood it more, which is so.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you even
I'm
think
still
about
mind
It's
blown.
Yeah.
fascinating, like how you would even come up with that.
I know.
Not only coming up with an idea like that, but also, participating in something like the Hope Prize
Mhm.
is something that I would find really scary to do and can't imagine doing. And it really just adds to our amazement at your
Yeah.
Yeah,
accomplishments.
and Lara's greatness.
The creativity to think of something like that. Like
Yeah, let's go with bananas, guys.
when I was when the whole price was first announced, I was like, what other business idea could there be?
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, it's not a good mindset, but I wasn't
Yeah.
really going for the whole price. So I was like, okay, I know. I mean, I haven't looked at the.
Yeah,
The
it
other
has to be food for
contestants.
good, right? So they use
Yeah, that's the
bananas.
theme.
That's so cool.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't
Yeah,
really
but again,
looked at
it's so fascinating because the bananas they don't include really are a waste. So
right?
thank you, Lara, for your contribution to the planet.
Yes, that's so
the
cool.
society.
Like, who would make
be
the
honest.
connection between bananas
know.
and flour?
It is really
Something I
fascinating
use
to
a
think
lot.
about.
But yeah,
I'm just
that's,
mind blown, guys.
that's so
Okay,
cool.
That's so cool. Okay, that was the second time I heard that, but it still amazed me, and my mind is blown. But yeah, so how was your, let's go back to your senior high school life this time. So, what are the best moments you had so far? Or, I mean, you had, not so far. The best moments you had when you were, in 11th and 12th grade.
So, the best moments, I can't really think of like specific ones. It's just like, every day of senior high. I guess I miss it more now because we're in online class. But I remember like we used to have the biggest classroom since we used to be the biggest class. So that classroom was the biggest, the loudest, the stinkiest,
The dirtiest.
always the rowdiest, and the dirtiest too, messiest. So, and considering Miss Mac was our advisor, that's just crazy.
That is crazy.
So, anyways, yeah, I really miss like lunch break, or if our professors don't end up coming, and or before we go home, we turn off the lights, we cover the windows, and it's like we blast music on the speakers, and everyone's just like lying down
That's
on the
every
table.
classroom.
Doing their own thing. Yeah.
Those are the days. Reminiscing.
It's like, yeah, that's right. It's like everyone's doing their own thing, but it's still fun, It just
Yeah.
feels like home.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're not talking to everyone, it feels like, this is nice. And I'm sad because we don't really get to do that, like, online.
Yeah.
Because, how else are we?
Yeah. That's just sad,
Oh,
but
well.
we were talking
But,
about best moments though.
Another.
Not sad moments, Chola.
They're both. They're bittersweet
Those were
because
the
we can't
best.
do them.
Yeah,
They were great,
bittersweet.
but we can't do them anymore. But
sorry,
we'll
I
get
was-
back to it, I'd say.
Well, I actually remember one particular best moment, and Urban was part of it.
I'm
So,
always one.
As mentioned,
You're mentioned.
I have mentioned.
January, we went on a trip to Baguio, and that trip, it was like a seminar for like student governments. So we went there, and it was in teachers camp. There's so many people. It's like everyone from different schools, and it's like hours and hours long of like talks and
Talks, yeah.
everything. I mean, but halfway through we kind of got bored, so we
I heard.
So we left. Yeah.
Yeah, so we split out.
Oh.
Hey, but
And
that was
then
almost at the end.
we
So
went to Okay, stop lying, Irvin. We all know the truth.
I'm not lying. I just don't remember. Okay. Okay.
I'm just
Anyways.
kidding. But yeah, we went out to take pictures and that was really fun. Don't follow us the next Exicon, please. That's
Bea.
Bea, don't leave. Oh, Bea was
Unless
there,
you
so
want.
they're gonna leave too. So. All
It's
right.
gonna
so-
become.
What?
Nothing. Okay. No. Anyway. Aside from that, so aside from Irvin and Bea, which you have mentioned, who were some of your other favorite people or best friends or classmates in senior high, like that really made your year special,
Extra special.
extra special?
well, I think you'll all agree that the most extra special person in Enderun is Django.
Extra
You
smelly
know,
too.
every
Yeah.
morning, he doesn't have to greet you by barking at you. You just have to open the Titan's
Yeah.
hall door.
That's how he
Sometimes it's
greets
not even. You're not
everyone.
even close to it yet, and it's already there. It's the sense of home, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss. In terms of like people, I really miss our professors.
That is
You
true.
know, like Miss Meg, Miss Bria shouting in the hallways. Sir Carl, I miss Sir Carl.
Yeah.
Miss Cherry, like greeting everyone in the
Yeah.
morning.
With her
With
Starbucks.
cups of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm early, I always cheer walking to Starbucks with her reusable cups.
With her like pins on her.
Yeah.
That was actually lit. You know,
Yeah.
those bits that. Yeah, we miss all of those.
So much.
Okay, this is
But
turning.
also, you know, my
The lighter
class,
side.
This is turning so.
It's turning so sad. It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll experience it again.
For sure.
sorry, I didn't get that.
Oh, we were just saying how it was
Jacob?
sad. We were reminiscing, but we're gonna experience that again. So,
Yeah.
basically, well, enough.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah. So enough about reminiscing.
And
We
sadness.
actually yes, and sadness. But we actually want to know, like, when you were transitioning to college, what was the biggest issue there for you, or like, were there any challenges? Like, could you share that experience? Because we're gonna experience that soon, right?
Very soon.
Yeah. Honestly, quite nervous.
Yeah. I'm excited for you guys, really. Because actually, you know, you don't have to be that scared because if you're going to continue in Enderun anyway, it's not such as like a shocking change. It's just like it's a slow, steady change. But I guess it helps if you stay in senior high because you know the people and it's you've really warmed up and it feels like home.
Yeah.
But I would say like meeting new people. It's not like I don't want to meet people, but it's just like it's so different from senior high wherein you know that your classmates are going to be with you for 2 years. So
Yeah.
for you it's like it's okay, like you're close to them and, like you go to all your classes together. So it's kind of different in college because you like meet with so many different people. Like every subject is different, so it's kind of like it's good because you meet a lot of people, but for me it's just like it takes time for me to warm up, so it's really been a challenge to like faster, like socialize faster and warm up faster to people. So but that's a good challenge, it's
is.
a life skill to be able to meet people and be comfortable right away, so it's a good challenge.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
one of the things that I'm looking forward to when I go to college, right? To
You're
widen
such a
my.
people person.
No, I like talking to other people too. You learn from them, no matter what background they have. So. it's
Yeah,
just interesting.
that's something I look forward to, even though I'm kind of shy person at first.
I am a shy
I think
person.
you're
Like
really not.
Jacob.
Kyla and I are the shy ones
No,
here.
I
yes,
am.
that's
Okay.
true.
But yeah, it's still something I look forward to. I think online, it's more difficult.
Yeah.
But I do look forward to meeting different people per class. I think, I don't know, I like making friends.
Yeah, like that schedule
Yeah.
difference. I think that's something that
It can be
you know when you would
beneficial
watch
too,
in the movies when you
Yeah.
were a kid, and you would see the
Shows.
people in high school. They would
Right,
go
they
to
would
different
switch
classrooms.
Yeah.
They'd have different schedules. And me as a
Yeah.
kid, I was always like, "That's so fun!" Like,
know, right?
wanna
I mean,
do that.
it's kind of
Same.
fun though.
Yeah, and
We
so
kind
like
of do it now with a different Zooms, but you know,
yeah. But I want to
different.
experience that physically. I think being physically there to like meet everyone
So
is
much
gonna
different.
make it.
It's so much better, like what Irvin mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Because
So
different personalities, different lessons per person. It's just, you know, it's great,
we
basically.
should be excited for the change.
Yeah,
So,
more
you
than
know,
more
it's
than
a great
scared.
challenge, like what Lara said. Okay, so let's turn back the clock a bit. You know, like for months. When you were when you graduated senior high school, I remember that you actually graduated with an award. It's called the Leadership Award, and that is one of the best awards you could give, and you can receive as a student too. So yeah, tell us more about that, Lara.
All right. Well, first of all, I was really so like humbled to be awarded that. Um, but the funny thing is, how like in Enderun, we have a different way of doing things, like with awards and stuff. So in Enderun, that we apply for those awards. So it's a little weird and a little like
Cool.
different from other schools, but
Yeah, super.
I think it was an advantage because like you've already worked, you have to like fight for that award. And I remember like I was so nervous because I was applying with amazing people, like people from my batch who are just top notch, so I was really like in that process I was doubting myself, but I was so thankful because the saying, right? Like it's not the destination, it's the journey. And as
Yeah.
cliche as that sounds, it's true. Like more than just the award, I really loved the learning experience of preparing to apply for that. So just to give context, for you to be able to apply for that award, you have to like write down a speech and like basically justify why, I don't know, you deserve that award. So that like week, I went into some serious reflection. Like I really had to dig deep down and like think about it. And the best part was I had an excuse to approach mentors, like my life mentors. Well, I call them my mentors, but I don't think they know I call them that. But like Miss Mac, Sir Aries, like I would call them and be like, I don't know what to say. Like I like, do I even deserve this? I don't know. So they were the ones who were telling me, okay, it's fine, you can do it. So I was thankful because do it in Enderun is that you apply for it. So it seems like at first glance it's like, oh, isn't that a bit narcissistic? Like, shouldn't it be a little bit shameful of you to like like you have to go like tell it to everyone? But I think like a while ago we were talking about it, and then yeah, we shouldn't be ashamed about it because
That's
if
true.
that achievement is not yours alone. Like it's not just you weren't alone in your journey. It's like everyone else contributing, even like the smallest conversations. We always have these meaningful encounters with people. Even Django, when you see him, he's so cute and he just lightens up your day, and maybe you feel a little better about your day. And maybe because you feel better for 5 minutes, you gain energy to do something good. I don't know if that makes sense, but
That
you know,
makes
it's like
sense.
it doesn't have to be the big things. It can be just the small things and the small conversations we have with people, and all of that come together. You know, it makes who you are. So when you achieve something, you shouldn't just focus on yourself. Like it shouldn't be all about you. You have to think of the people who
That's true.
were behind, like who had you and all of that. So that's what I really learned in the process of applying for the leadership award. And when it was awarded to me, I really felt like, wow, like we did this. Like, thank you
Yeah,
for
you
and
truly deserve that award, Lara.
Why she won the award, people. That whole spiel
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, it's really not about us. And I like, what Lara said about if you want something, you should really get it, because that's Jacob was telling me this a while ago, so I think Jacob should, share more about this. I don't want to get your spotlight.
Oh. No, yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and Lara's story really inspires me and um, encourages me to work for what we want. I think oftentimes when it comes to situations like this where you have to apply for an award, which admittedly is kind of odd, our automatic feeling is, as Lara mentioned, what if I seem narcissistic? But again, if you think you deserve something,
Go for it.
go for it, especially if your intentions are pure and your intentions are not narcissistic anyway. You shouldn't shy away from an opportunity like this, especially
Yeah,
if,
that's true.
again, you know that it's something you deserve because you work hard. And as Laura mentioned, your achievements are not yours alone.
Mhm.
It's really the people you surround yourself with. It's their victory too, because they all help you become who you are. So yeah, I love that story.
Yeah, like what Jacob said, we were talking about this. And what do you call this? It's a really unique thing to Enderun, in my experience, because in my past schools, you usually don't apply for the awards. They're just given to you on graduation day. Like, I don't even know what awards there are in my old school. They were just given to people. And so that kind of, now that I look at it, now that I know that there's such a thing as applying for an award, the ones that are just given to you, it sort of just takes the gravity of that award away in a sense. Because I have some awards in my room that I'm like, what did I get this for again? Like, what is the meaning of this award? But I think when you're applying for it, it really makes you think about what the award entails, and it like makes you think, are you really worthy of this award? That's why you have to write about it. And it just shows how badly you want it. And I think that's a really good quality to have, like that reflection on yourself when you're going to apply for these things. And like what Jacob said, I think in our culture there's this really big thing, in our Filipino culture, we're all
Yeah.
we have this really big thing about hiya when it comes to talking about our achievements. Like, when we share something, some people will say like, oh, you're just sharing that, like it's
Yeah.
a braggy
Yeah,
thing.
like being bida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A bit
exactly. And sometimes when your intentions, well, I think that, like what Lara said, when your intentions are pure, when your intention is to really just share that achievement with the rest of the people that helped you, I think that's not something that you should be ashamed about. Like, okay, admittedly, yes, I am applying for this award, and I didn't even want to say that before, like in this talk when you were going to talk about it. But now I realize that it's something that I want to work hard for, that I believe that in myself that I could be worthy of. And so that isn't something that I should be ashamed of. And like the listeners, like if you're thinking of applying for it, then go for
Yeah, or
it.
any
Like,
award
why
out there,
not?
right?
And don't be afraid that it's a competition.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of like people around you with the same goal, and then
Yeah.
And
like,
that makes it more special, right?
yeah, exactly.
And
Not that anyone becomes less
yeah.
valid, but again, this is something you work for, and
Mhm.
it just makes the win, if you get it, even more special and meaningful.
Yeah, that's right. And jumping off of what you guys mentioned, like Jacob and Kyla, you said if you really want it, there's no shame in like going for it.
Yeah.
That you should be happy that you're doing something, like you're pushing hard, and like as long as your intentions are not to just like make yourself like the big person. You're like, you don't want to, like, you want to make yourself like the I'm number one, I'm the best. Like, that shouldn't be your intention. Like, for me, I'm sorry, but that's just shallow. Like, I mean, fine, it could be an okay intention, but it's so self-centered. Like, if your intentions are because you want to make it better for somebody else, or if you're working towards a cause that affects a lot of people, then really, like, be proud of that achievement. And really, like, for me, I measure success with how many people you've influenced, or how many people has been touched by something
That's
that you
true.
did. That's not something to be ashamed of. You just made someone's life better for, I don't know, at least, even if you just made someone's life better by 5 minutes, you still touched their lives at some point, right? So I guess, there really shouldn't be shame in that. Like, when you're working hard for something and you acknowledge it, it's like, why? I'm not a narcissist. I'm just acknowledging something that I worked on sincerely, and it was from my heart, and it wasn't just about me. It's about everyone else. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
yeah.
that's what being a leader is all about, right? And if you want to, chase that award you want, go for it, but just don't get it of how bad you want it, because get it because of how bad you deserve it, truly. So, another pillow quote for you, Jacob. Joke.
Yes.
There were so many pillow quotes in that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm running out of pillows.
Our new Enderun merch, Jacob's pillow quotes. Entrepreneurship. Why not?
Lol. Right. So I just want to share, some experiences I had being Lara as a leader. I think she truly fully deserved that award. Last year, she was the president of our whole student government in senior high school, and I was working with her, and I really saw how she was matured. Even okay. Just a fun fact, guys. She's the youngest right now in this call.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
true. She's a freshman, but
You're
she's
the elderly.
older than
all of
the
To the
us.
grade 12s.
So
I feel humbled since I always
Yeah.
call Irvin. Since I always call these two old,
She always makes fun of our ages.
I feel
karma,
humbled.
Kyla. So yeah, that thing. Even though you're young, even though Lara's young, she didn't go on that, because we don't want anyone to look down on us, because we are young. And yeah, that shows Lara's leadership, not just as a leader but also as a person. So I'm very glad to be working with Lara. I saw her impact in our Exicom last year. It was such a great impact on us, and yeah, I really saw Lara's work ethics, when it comes to meetings. we had some about some. Did we have arguments, Lara? I think we didn't. We were always good with each other, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm still not used to Irvin being nice, with all the compliments. Because as he mentioned, yeah, we did argue a lot. But, those arguments weren't like, just like fighting each other. It was because we had ideas. Like our intentions were that we had these ideas, right? And we wanted to share them. It's just that we couldn't connect them. Like, we couldn't like agree with each other. But those arguments were good because they were constructive, and at the end of the day,
very
we were able,
constructive too.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, we were able to serve our senior high school community, and they were able to. I hope you guys enjoyed the events that
Yeah.
we.
Lara,
Definitely.
Kyle never attended one, so I think Jacob
Okay, I
enjoyed
was,
it.
I remember Teachers Day. That was you guys, right?
That was our first event
That was,
Yeah.
I
That was
attended
fun.
that one
because it was required.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had a lot of church stuff that year.
It's okay. At least you left it for something good too. So,
But that was fun. And it was like, I remember you guys frantically planning about that, but it turned out really well.
Well, fun fact, it might have looked like it worked really. Our team, it felt like everything was falling apart. Like, Irvin, do you remember? We were like running
that
around
event.
because everything was off time. Like, we scheduled and we're like,
We're so delayed for
go
like
up,
15
no,
minutes.
go down, no, wait, the teachers
They're
aren't
always
there.
jogging around.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that
I remember
was
Sir
really a
Oliver
learning
getting mad at
experience.
us because of being unprofessional too. So hello, Sir Oliver. I
Yeah.
remember that. I mean, I understand, sir, but like, yeah, that taught us a lesson too.
I mean, those kind of projects always come with the challenges, but you guys
I
still
still remember.
Yeah, do you remember that, Lara? I was
I think I'm coming.
Yeah, you're a bit coming late, but yeah, I remember that too, Lara. I think Sir is the one who talked to me first regarding about being unprofessional, and I was like,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Wait, okay. I think I'm really coming in late. But anyways,
Okay.
I remember like Sir
Put up
Oliver,
now.
and it stuck to me. Like, to this day, he was saying like, Lara, you have to fix this. Like, is this what you want your classmates?
yeah,
To do? Like, I was like, I mean, on his part, that was a really good wake up call, because it really gave me that part, like a leader
yeah,
lesson that, as a leader, you could be like boiling inside, like it could, like the SpongeBob meme where it's like everything's on fire and he's like, ah. So that could be going on in your brain, but as a leader, you have to be composed. Have to keep everything, and you should be the last person to freak out. Like, you have to calm down. So that's until
Yeah.
now. I still thank you, Sir Oliver. Until now, I still use that lesson, and I feel like, Lara, what is happening? So, but it really left a big impact in
Yeah, so just to add the things I've experienced with Lara. When it comes to like doing events, she made sure that she really was the one leading it, because that's how leaders should do. You should be the one leading. And I also like said this a while ago. When you lead, you're there to serve and not to be served. So that's why
That's
Lara. I look up to Lara to being a leader. So yeah, so that
You know
was
what?
just some of it.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of Sir Carl hosted a retreat, not really a retreat, but a team building
Yeah.
for art. And I forgot to mention this, but this was one of the most memorable moments that I had. We had to wash each other's feet, and
Interesting.
I was
Yo,
interesting approach.
Jacob would love that joke.
like, I wasn't close with any of the RE people, like, because they were from section A. But like, no beef or anything. I just wasn't close to them. But that, by the way, Sam was also there.
Oh yeah, and Chloe.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Chloe.
Chloe's here.
So-
Hi, Chloe.
It was a really, how do I describe it? It's an amazing experience, because it's like, even if I wasn't close to them, I felt really like, the bond, and it
Yeah.
has that like leadership lesson again. Like, Jacob, you should put this in like your pillow coats. But
Taking note.
As a leader, you really shouldn't. You're not, the one on top. Like, you should be the last. You should prioritize yourself last, and you should be the one that is serving. And to get down on your knees and wash people's feet, and this is really embarrassing. But Irvin, this, I have smelly feet. Like, I just.
Okay, I won't dig into that, but okay. I sort of remembered.
Sort of.
Was wafting in the room.
Yeah. Like I said, was that Django or Lara? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Lara.
Okay.
You could imagine the person who was washing my feet, but I washed her feet too, so we exchanged. So I was really
She was in a bad
confused.
position, Lara.
Yeah, I felt like I had to make it up to her, so I washed her feet. But I when you wash someone's feet, it's like how do you describe that?
that's-
So it's really humbling. Like it really makes you realize that we're here to serve each other, and Irvin, we're not here to be served, but to serve.
That
Yeah.
is so true.
Yeah, I think that's a thing, and like there's a term for it, like servant leadership. It's a
Yeah.
It's a good term.
It is.
that's
Yeah.
used a lot in like especially like Christian like organizations. It's used a lot there, and I think that's a very effective strategy when you're way method not a strategy. That
Practice.
sounds like innuendos, but it's a very effective way to lead because it's so opposing to what the like usual standard of leadership is. But for me, that's why it works so well, because like the people who are with you in that, they're just like, wow, she or he, like they're with us, they're not above us, they're with us. And I think that really contributes to like the effectiveness of everything that's going to happen in the
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add on to what Irvin was talking about earlier regarding Lara as a leader. Now, I just wanted to talk about how something I remember most about Lara, because I didn't interact with her as much as Irvin did, but something I remember most about her is that every time she would just be around, really, go into a room, she would always seem so welcoming and so approachable. And she was the type of person that you would want to be friends with, just because you know that she's generally
Yeah,
kind.
that's true.
And so, yeah, it was never difficult for me as a shy person to kind of socialize when Lara was around, because she is that type of person. And I think those are such great traits to have as a leader, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. I remember when I was in grade 11, you're a new student, and so you like scope out the area. Like, okay,
Scope
well,
out.
what are the dynamics here? Like the grade 12 people. I mean, you do that as a new student. Like, who are the people that seem nice, or the people that you kind of want to like? And first impression, of course, they can change over time. I'm not saying judge a book by its cover, but that's your first impression. And I remember, like, I didn't spend as much time with Lara as Irvin did, but I remember in the moments that I would like see her in the hallway, not in a creepy way, but like just there, like
She is
see her,
creepy, guys.
I have a very small hallway. It's very
no, like see her around like the school. Like what Jacob said, she gave off a very welcoming and genuinely kind vibe, like the person you just want to be friends with. And like me being the person that I am in my academics, what do you call this? I kind of indirectly in a way that I wasn't super like I want to be like Lara, but looked up to her. I looked up to her in the way that like I wanna, like she's like, I don't know how to explain it really. We talked about this before, but I still don't know how to explain it. But yeah, she's the type of person that you just like help. Somebody help me.
Wait, I can help you with this, Kyla. Okay, I was thinking of something. You know Lilo and Stitch, right?
Lila?
Yeah. So
Lilo and
Lara, yeah,
Lilo and Stitch?
yeah. Lara Oana means family.
Ugh.
Oh.
Ohana
okay.
means family. No, that's just thing.
You interrupted me for that.
No, hey, that's a good pun. It's not a pun. It's actually, Jacob mentioned like if Lara's there, you can socially interact with her so smoothly, and that she's so genuine. Now I know why. Oanya means family. Family.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I
We should-
forgot what I was
Lara,
gonna say.
if you're gonna be running for any position, don't put Irvin in charge of your like slogans.
Hey,
Or
Oanya
anything.
means family. Right. Come on, that was a good
Okay.
one, guys.
Sure.
Okay, we can move on from that. We can move on
You
from
will-
that.
Will not be a good
Okay.
Okay,
For the facts
there.
to be smooth.
So I heard that already. Larry said I want to be a good campaign manager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
Well, that is true. I think we've established that with your track record of puns
Okay. Thank
and
you. Okay, just one more thing. I remember the day, like the last day of voting, when for the senior high school exam.
Yeah.
I was messaging Lara that Thursday night. I think she was asking like, "Are you running or something, or who are you voting for?" I forgot. And then I just said like from my heart, like I would vote for you, like straight to the point, because I really,
Aw.
hey Lara, I'm a good guy. I'm a
Hard
good
to
guy.
tell.
Hey, but do you remember that though? Do you remember that? Then I actually convinced, hey, let's vote for Lara, guys, in my class. To be honest,
oh yeah, you were spreading the.
because I really saw Lara like leading it. So
But we were convinced by her speech.
yeah, that is true. That is true.
He's trying to push for the fact that he would be a good
A
campaign,
campaign manager.
I don't.
Hey, I would be not bad. Okay.
Not bad. It's not what
Alright.
things you like.
So that's actually very like a good talk about leadership, and maybe we can have Lara again next time and talk more about the leadership in a daily life, not just as a student, but as a leader by heart. So Lara, we would ask you like a couple of questions. So based on your experience, so how did you become more prepared for your college life? Even throughout those challenges, what were some of the preparation you made?
right. So honestly, I did not prepare.
That's
Like
the best preparation. I swear.
Noted.
you
I'm
Noted.
putting it down.
don't copy that. I mean, because you have to understand that when the pandemic hit, like the first ever, like it was becoming real. Like everyone
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" So it was that like time frame that we were supposed to prepare for college. So I really was so out of it, and I mean, there's really not much you have to prepare for college, especially if you come from Enderun Senior High and you're going into Enderun College. It's just like it was a smooth transition for me. I mean, thankfully, because by after 2 years, Enderun has already become my home. I already know like my
Yeah.
go-to people, and I was a really shy person, like really, and I was just thankful that like my grade 11, I had someone from my old school who came with me. So
Same.
I would like latch on to her. I was so shy, like I couldn't socialize on my own, and so that was another like advantage of being in senior high. Like I already knew some people, so it helped me transition to college. When there's more new people than the old people I knew, but it still felt nice to have that, like you felt reassured that if you couldn't get along with the new people, you still have your homies. I mean, I'd
Yeah.
recommend that you really go out of your comfort zone and make new friends, because that way you learn. But there's just something homey about no preparation. I mean, I thank you, and for making you really have to prepare is you need to tell yourself that you need to be prepared for change. Like prepared to change a lot, like
Quicker.
fast. So you can't be stuck on what you're used to. You have to be on your toes, like ready for change. Like there shouldn't be any friction. Like you should be comfortable with change. Just right? The only thing that's constant is change. So prepare to deal with change. I guess that's the only advice I could give to you guys is you are nearing like college life. I'm so excited to have you in the college department, guys. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm
Oh wow,
actually.
we're getting asked the question.
Yeah, that's a nice question, Lara. So thank you for having me here again and your podcast. No, actually, I'm looking forward to like
I think I'm coming in so late.
yeah, you are.
It's okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay. We heard your question to us.
Yeah, so we're gonna answer this individually too. This is actually interesting. I'm just looking forward to maybe like what he said, change, because I'm a type of person that can't stay and and do the same thing for like a very long time. So like that's sort of the cons there is just I can't be focused as much as I was focused before on this thing because I just can't do it. But hey, I'm just looking for growth. That's why. So I love change. So I'm looking forward to meet a lot of new people and learn from them too. How about you? Take it.
Kyle, you want to go first?
Oh, okay, I can go first. But I think I'm excited for college because, to be honest, the whole reason why I went to Enderun is because I had a goal of studying culinary and going to
Best skill for culinary.
the places that I wanted to go to work in, and I knew that Enderun could offer that, and so that's why I went into their senior high program, so that I could get one foot in the door in order to go to the college. And so like it's all coming nearer, like towards my goal of
dream.
studying culinary, and it's just something that really hasn't sunk in until you mention it right now. But it's just something that I'm really, really excited for, even though the pandemic has sort of sidetracked a lot of my expectations. But I guess if all of those expectations were taken away from me, I shouldn't let it take anything else from my
That's true.
excitement. So because there's nothing I really can do about it aside from just hope and pray. And so I'm just really excited. The meeting new people, I'm still working on that, but I know that it's
It'll
gonna
come in
be
handy.
for good in the long run. I mean, the evidence is right here with these people. So,
Good evidence. too.
Jacob.
As for me, honestly, it's a mix of both of their answers. More similar to Irvin's, actually. The thing I'm most excited for, because I am going to Enderun for college, is really the growth and, like Kyla's, all the opportunities that they have. Because Irvin knows, because I talk about this a lot, especially recently. I want to pursue hospitality, and I know that that's something. Yeah, we're starting a lesson. It's something that Enderun is the place for, to grow and know more about that industry. And kind of like Kyla's, I did go to Enderun for. I went to Enderun Junior High School to have a foot in for college, but unlike Kyla, I didn't plan my life as far ahead as she does. But somehow it's like there's a point. For me, there came a point pretty much early on, in senior high school when I figured out that this is actually where I'm meant to be. And again, now going into college and seeing these opportunities for me, because they've been having talks a lot. It's just somehow things are working out, and it's just so exciting, but at the
It
same
is
time
exciting.
nerve-wracking to experience college and just be thrust into like the real world. And so adaptability is definitely something that I am learning and growing in, and it's something that I always talk about when people ask me like what's something I learned from Enderun. So yeah.
All right.
Great.
That's our answer to your question.
Thank you, Lara.
Thank you for that.
All right, so Lara, we have one last question for you now before we end things. I mean, we're not really gonna end it, but is there like any advice you can give to the upcoming or incoming Enderun senior high school students and maybe college students too?
All right. Well, for the incoming senior high school, you know, it's a really great advantage that we don't have grade school in Enderun. So it means that everyone's coming from different schools and,
Different
you
backgrounds.
know, yeah, that's right.
It's a
And
fresh start for everyone that's there.
fresh start, it really is a fresh start because for me, that's what it was for me. Because ever since like growing up, also, I went to schools the wrong time. It's like, you know, everyone would have their own like cliques or groups already, and I just had a hard time fitting in. And you know, for the incoming senior high, that's not a problem. Everyone's new to each other. So when you first come in the classroom, everyone's feeling exactly how you feel.
That is true.
Unless now you're like the super social kid. But you know, so take that advantage and don't like this is from personal experience. Like don't categorize yourself that I'm only going to be with these types of people. No,
Yeah.
be friends with everyone. Talk to everyone, you know? What are you going to lose when you approach someone? You could either have a possible friend. That person could be your lifelong friend, you know, because
Mhm.
our best friends are from high school, right?
Yeah.
Or that person doesn't like you, and so what? Move on. There's a lot of other classmates out there. So if you're a shy person, go for it. Just you know, what do you have to lose? It's a fresh start. Reinvent yourself. If you never had the opportunities in your old school, take advantage of them now. Like I was listening to a talk from an Enderun alumni, and the way he worded it was, you know, abuse all the opportunities that Enderun gives you because we really are so spoiled with so much like events, talks, and you know, social networking. That's not a good word, but like
We get you. We get you though.
It's okay. I think everybody gets.
Yeah.
yeah, but you know, take advantage of that and just be open. Open your heart to people and also be open to know that you're not going to be the same person. Like if you told my grade 10 self that people are going to see you as a leader, I'd be like, in what universe? It's you'll be surprised of who you will be at the end of your senior high. Don't allow your senior high to pass and you didn't even grow. Like, come on. Like, take advantage,
Yeah,
grow,
that is true.
you know. And for the college, I'm not really in the position to give advice yet, but just, you know, be genuine, be sincere, serve as much as you can. And you know, I think for me college isn't really about academics, it's really about like getting a head start at life. Like if you can join orgs, go do that. If you have outside school opportunities, go do that. Also, this is the secret recipe. Secret recipe.
Wow. Okay.
This I think this would be the best advice that I received this from a friend that I honestly should have talked to more. I really regret not bonding with her more. And so I was really surprised when we talked again and she gave me the best advice that I've ever
You want to
received.
hear it?
And that is really don't be afraid to reach out to people you look up to. Look for mentors. It's you don't have to have a reason to look for a mentor. You know, I've seen you guys on LinkedIn. You've been adding. So
We've been a bit noisy in LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's true. It's a kind of requirement.
But also,
It's a good
yeah, it's
requirement.
been a really good opportunity, and
Yeah.
I realized with that assignment how I was reminded at least of how important it is to make that connection because they
Mhm.
are beneficial. Yeah.
yeah, guys, honestly, I didn't understand why this is for work immersion, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't understand why we had to do this. It was such a hassle for me at that time. But right now, LinkedIn is is really changing. It's really like a booster in what you want. So I'm not kidding. Just talk to people. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated that they're a CEO or they're like a hotel manager. Talk to them. Connect with them
Let's
on
do this,
LinkedIn.
Jacob.
Message them and be like, "Hi, I'm an aspiring hotelier. I'm an aspiring chef. You know, and I really want to get your advice. You're a professional at your field. I admire you. The what have you got to lose? You could
Yeah.
either get a mentor, a lifelong friend, even someone who gives you advice. Those people, they're not just people who hold positions. They're people too, and they like to connect too.
That is
So
true.
the one thing that the worst thing that could happen is that they don't reply. But so what? There's so much
Yeah.
people out there. Really, that's what that's all. Like, look for mentors, look for people you can learn from. And it doesn't have to be CEOs. You can learn from absolutely anybody. Like, you can learn from Django. I don't know, he'll probably teach you something. um Really, just look for mentors, talk to people, don't be afraid, especially when you're given events. Approach people, push yourself, don't be shy, don't be like, what do I say? What do I say? Just say hi. I was really. The trick is just listen to something they said. Like, for example, if they had a talk or they had a speech, just make sure you remember something that they said and mention that. Like, hi, this thing really stuck to me, and I really wanted to talk to you about it. And I am like a big fan of your work, or I want to learn from you. And that's where it starts. And then you get a mentor, and then you learn so much from them, and you really grow. And this is outside of your academics, because really
Yeah.
there's so much more to life than academics. I mean,
That is so true.
don't get me in trouble, but
Yeah, we get you.
but there's so much more to life than that. So I live by this advice, and I hope you guys follow that.
Yeah, very nice advice, Lara. That was
That was
So
great
powerful.
advice.
yeah, and that advice, that goes out for everyone trying new things out, not just for the senior high school or college going into Enderun. Maybe you're a student, listening right now, and you want to go in another university or college. That's okay. Just remember, when you transfer to something, just look for growth and for change
Yeah.
as well, and for the people also. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and don't like don't be afraid to reach out to people
yeah.
who are like you said, right? Like, explore different fields, and if you find someone in that field that you can learn from, approach them. Don't be shy. Just reach out. It's fine.
Yeah.
No.
Reach out, guys.
Reach out. Yeah.
So I think that was the way we end the episode, guys. We reached the end of it.
Unfortunately.
Okay, I was trying to make a pun, but okay. All right, so wow, I was inspired again, guys. I mean, every episode we do get
know.
inspired, and
We're inspired.
We learn so much from everyone that comes on here.
Mhm.
Yeah, and this one especially is just
it's very timely
Everything.
too. Especially
yeah
for,
for us
the three of us.
especially.
Yeah, that's
And-
true. And everyone that's going into college, it's very
Yeah.
relatable ever since it's so fresh in terms that you're still
It
a
is.
freshman. I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Oh no.
Kyla, that was only my. Kyla, don't tell
I'm
us.
sorry. I'm sorry. You're
All right, I
So-
think that's the sign that we should end this episode now.
Yes. That is.
Because this is time where they will end the video because of what Kyla said. So again, guys, unfortunately, this is the time we will be muting for now. But don't forget to tune in with us every Friday, because that's the time we unmute. And again, guys, we never miss with the wonderful guests we have. So Fridays at 6 p.m. And of course, again, don't forget to use your hashtag Enderun Unmuted if you want. And if maybe you want to guest in our podcast, just hit us up. Like Lara said, reach out to people. Reach out to us too. We'll be so glad to welcome you in here. So once again, guys, this is Enderun Unmuted. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Lara.
Thank you, Lara.
Lara, for joining us today.
Thank you, Lara, so much.